Hello everybody, this is Dana with the Freedom Please channel and essenceofme.com. I am coming back with a part 2 video. I did not realize that I was going to talk that long about the Denise Interchangeable knitting needles. I gave some of my pros and cons. I showed the needles as well as my thoughts about them. And so if you want to take a look at that, you can head over to the part 1. In this part 2, I'm going to talk about my experience with the CreativeBug. So I'm just going to call it a subscription service. It's a database of lessons for all types of crafters, and that was another item that I received as a gift for my birthday from one of my sisters, and so I am going to tell you all about my experience. If you're interested in finding out what I thought about it and how I enjoyed it, what I liked and I didn't like, go ahead and stick around, and I will see you on the other side of the intro. Okay, where do we start? Okay, the CreativeBug, I'm going to just describe it in my own words. I guess I could have looked at the website, but I didn't, and I'm going to just explain it to you. CreativeBug is a crafting website, kind of like Craftsy, and there's some others where you can either choose to buy a crafting lesson, that individual lesson. You receive video tutorial. Some of them you receive a download of the pattern, and what else? You can choose to buy the individual lesson, or you can choose to do a subscription. They have month to month, 3 months, and I think 6 months. And I believe the 6 months will average out to your subscription being around $20 a month or something like that. I don't quote me on that. Just don't. So, as a gift for my sister, she bought me 2 months. So I was shy of the whole 3 month, 6 month, that's why I don't know. And she bought the 2 months for me. And on the site they have knitting, lessons, crochet lessons, sewing lessons, they have felting, they have did I say quilting? They have quilting, they have other like artsy craftsy type of things. They have screen printing, they have a whole bunch of things. And when you purchase a month to month or quarterly or I guess it was that semi-annually subscription, you get access to everything that's in their system. So for, let's say, 20 bucks, or I think the month to month was $25. So for $25 you will get access to unlimited viewing usage of all of the lessons that they have for 1 month. And for me, this was coming off after I finished taking the Joanne's classes, and so I really was enjoying taking those classes, and I paid more than $25 for those individual classes. Well, I guess technically I didn't because I had a coupon, but they're usually start at $25, I mean $35 or $40 at Joanne's. So to me, the $25 for 1 month and the ability to do as many lessons as you have time for was a good deal. Okay, so in a month's time I did about 6 or 7 lessons. The lessons to me were really cool. I guess I'll start with the pros. They were really cool because you can go on YouTube and you can watch video tutorials. I get that, they're free. But I like the fact that it was high quality video, it was very straightforward, and the fact that they had the lessons in little installments. So you didn't watch maybe a whole long 20-minute tutorial. You would do maybe 5 minutes, 7 minutes, or so on and so forth, and you could pause it, you could press play again or whatever. Also, I like the fact that many of them had written patterns as well. But what I liked about the written patterns, I'm going to show you. These written patterns, to me, are different than other written patterns. I believe that these written patterns were actually better. I'm going to show you. Okay. Like this, the all day beret. Like this was one of the items that I made, which is this all day beret. And the written patterns look like this, and each one of them were different. But what I liked about the written patterns is that I felt as though even if you're a person that you don't know how to read uh, crochet or knitting patterns, you will be able to read these and understand them. Now, and it's written as if it's just, you know, and how would I say it? That it's not, you don't have to have that technical skill just on point in order to get it. And the fact that they mixed the written so you could read it, or and the visual, because they are doing it by video, so you are watching the person's hands just as if you were sitting in a class, and or you're watching here on YouTube. But what took it a step further in a positive way for me was that the people that were doing the lessons, they are just awesome. I don't know any of their names, but there were people like once you looked at their bios, and they many of them have published many books on crafting and pattern books and things of that nature. So what I found as an extra bonus to the classes is that like there was one lady, I'm going to look for her name while I'm talking to you. She would give you all types of little nifty tips and tricks. I would call them tips and tricks while she was doing the pattern, so that it would be easily transferable to you doing another knit pattern or whatever. I didn't do any of the crochet ones because the crochet patterns were all very, very basic. And quite honestly, there was not a lot of yarn crafting tutorials in there, but the ones that they had to me were pretty decent. Um, Her name was, Cerelia Rose. She just was great. She did she did like a class on doing a riff hat, and in the riff hat, while she was doing it, she showed you how you could take your measurements and build your pattern for the size of the person's head. Now, to some people, they may say, "Oh, that's easy. Just do, whatever people tell you to do." With me being new to knitting, I didn't know what to do because when I crochet, I just make it and I know what I'm doing without knowing what I'm doing. But with knitting, I'm not there yet. And so having her just literally show you a calculation, I'm not scared of math, and it wasn't like some silly, off the wall thing. But she just showed you the calculation, how you take your measurements, how you do the calculation, how you do the gauge, and then how teaching you how, then you would know how much to cast on and to go on from there, and how you can weed in different um, um, I guess they still call pattern repeats in knitting because that's what they're calling crochet, and how you can take all that together. So to me, someone that likes to craft without patterns and do things off the top of my head, when she went through that sequence, I could easily transfer that into anything else that I was doing. So like the knit bag I'm working on, I used a lot of what she shared for a hat, just in how to do the calculations when you know your size and multiply, all that kind of stuff. So the point that I was making before I went like downstream with that was I found that because the instructors were so knowledgeable, I felt that you received more than just the pattern and here's the tutorial and boom, we're done. Um, and that I felt like was well worth the money that I paid for the subscription service. What else? Um, Also, someone else did a parallel pattern in there, which is another tutorial that I did for the crochet. She did it for crochet though, like a crochet hat formula, and she went through all the sequence and everything, and even for the for the pattern, it was very simple. But I think, again, I just felt like you were getting more than just that one class. You were kind of getting tidbits, and if you file them away in kind of your mental Rolodex that you have for crafting, that you would probably reap a greater benefit than just the benefit of being in that one lesson or that one class. What else about it? Now, I want to summarize the pros and try to summarize the cons. A pro would definitely be the instructors. I like the fact that you have access to everything. So there were some lessons that I just watched, even though I had no intention of doing anything with them, just because I thought it was pretty cool to watch. This lady did a tutorial on felting and making little, they look like those little peeps for Easter, but she was using wool and what is it called? It wasn't felting like those. I'd never seen it done before, and I just thought that was cool. And the fact that you could just sit and watch it, and the very high quality videos. I just felt like the instructors enjoyed what they were doing and sharing the information, and you could feel that. And I thought that was great. I think the price was okay. Okay, just because in comparison to taking an outside class, it was comparable. However, unlike an outside class, that person cannot see your work in order to help you through if you had some sort of bumps or kinks in the process. And so that would be more of a con. But I think um, if I did, because that first month in the $25, I did 6+ lessons that I actually did something with. So for me, it was definitely worth it. Con, I'm gonna say a con is also the price. Yes, and the reason why I'm gonna say that is because I feel like there are some very knowledgeable people on YouTube that you can get the lessons for free. Um, but I mean, you just can. You just can. I mean, many of us do it every day, especially because as a part of that con too, there are not a lot of yarn crafting projects in there, especially things that are probably more complex. And I feel like on YouTube, I mean, you can knock yourself out, save the playlist, go back, start over, do it again, whatever. And so that would definitely be a con in that perspective. Another con is that if you do not want them to auto draft your stuff out, even if you do the month to month, you have to stop it beforehand, even though you will receive your subscription through the end of your pay period. Like they pull it out, so you don't get a refund or anything like that. But so you got to do that, and I think that's a con because if you say you only want 1 month and you only want 1 month, they should just turn off your service. I mean, that's what I think. But they're in a business. Um, and another con is that they do not have very many free lessons, and I feel like the free lessons would open them up to people that may be used to getting them for free. I mean, we just are. I mean, YouTube is kind of cool like that. But I felt like, kind of jumping back to the pros, it was very focused. You when you are watching your videos for your tutorial, that's it. You don't have no pop-ups, you don't have any commercials, you don't have comments and none of that. You really don't have any distraction. So it really feels as if you're in a real class and you're focused on just creating that piece. And so that was more of a con than a pro than a con. And I probably should have wrote this down. Sorry, but there was another thing I was gonna say. Um, Along with the focused environment, I feel like a con of the situation was it would have been nice if there would have been some way to add questions. Um, I didn't have a lot. I felt like the instructors were very clear as far as their information, except that there was one person that was doing a cast on like I had no clue about. And I know I got to get out of my only knowing one cast on method, but um, but uh, I don't. And so I wish I would have been able to ask questions. But I know that probably would mean that their subscriptions will go up more because a lot of the instructors that they have are pretty well known. Like the woman that does the Stitch and Bee, I'm not going to say books. She's one of the instructors in there. And another one, I can't think of her name right now, Debbie something. I just loved her. Just loved it. I mean, she did a class on color combinations that was great, and she also did one on Fair Isle, which was great. And she just had so many hidden nuggets and gems in her tutorials, which leads to another pro. Another pro is if you know um, what what type of instruction you're lacking or where you're looking for help, you really can piecemeal what you need from each video or from different lessons to get what you need and to be able to see it visually and in a very focused setting. And what I mean by that is because they break those videos up, you can select which portion of which video you want to watch. So as an example, if you're doing a hat, you know, you're going to cast on and then you're going to learn the sequence for the repeat pattern, and then you're going to decrease, and then you're going to cast off, right? And each one of those videos are separate. Well, let's say you're a person that you want to work on a different method of cast on. You may go to another lesson, and this person may be working on one of lessons like for Fair Isle boot toppers. But let's say she has a different cast on method. Another person did she did this artesian pillow, and she used a different type of cast on method. So you can go over there and just look just at the cast on video. And so I thought that that was a pro. So you didn't have to watch the whole thing. You could just pick which pieces you wanted to watch and go from there. Is there anything else? That's it. I don't have oh I want to say two things. I don't The first thing is I don't have a subscription with them right now. Would I consider doing it again? Yes. I am still subscribed to their newsletter so that if they were to do a lesson or something that I found interesting, I would subscribe again. As well as I have a list of other lessons I would like to view again, but I would wait until they have something that I would like to watch, and then I would go and view those other lessons again. I would also say that the one of the great things that I liked about it is even though some of the lessons were, I don't want to, I guess some of them, I don't know if I would say complex. They were fairly straightforward. You really didn't need anything out of the normal as far as supplies for what I was doing. Now they had screen printing and sewing and dresses and all this other stuff that I would have had to go buy a lot of things because those are not natural things that I have in my crafting supply. But for the things that I chose to do, they used yarn types and they were very uh, helpful as far as what you needed to get. They had a separate video just for materials, which if you've ever seen any of my tutorials, I like that. And I'm not a person that you will see all my tutorials in one long string. I like having, okay, here's your materials, here's how you get started, here's how you keep going, here's how you finish off, because I like that. And maybe that's probably why that appealed to me, because you can pick and choose where you are and what you need to work on. So with all of that said, I would do it again. I'm not a subscriber now. I was very thankful for it as a gift, and I appreciate it, and I used my money's worth. Like I used those videos. I had some challenging times with this thing. Oh my goodness, it seemed so hard at some points just because I was still again so very new to knitting, and I learned so much by doing those lessons. I think that's it. I made both of these extremely long. Didn't really get to add any extra stuff in because those things are so long. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. The wonderful thing about the service, because again, I'm not affiliated with them or anything, is that you can go over there and just browse the lessons. And when you buy the individual lessons, they will be available to you for however long you need them. So, but I just didn't think that the price was as beneficial. Maybe if you really wanted to keep that lesson for a long time, it would be. Another thing I was going to say about the CreativeBug, and I think this is the last thing, is that they were in I don't want to say a partnership, but they came together with Red Heart to do a shrug. I thought I didn't bring it in. Red Heart, they did a shrug tutorial, and that's how I first learned about the service. And the shrug tutorial is free. Well, it was at the time of me making this video. And I would say if you wanted to give a try, try that one. I don't know of any other Yarncrafter videos that were free, but that one is. And it was great. I couldn't believe I was making this shrug. It's awesome, and I'm gonna make another one. Um, but maybe what you could do is try that and see if it's something that you like. And I'd love to know how you fare with utilizing the service and if you like it too. Um, I think that's it. Okay. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. I hope that this was helpful. And look for, I'm going to just do, I guess I'm going to do the first giveaway video after this so that it'll be really quick. And then that people can just add comments and I will show what I'm going to be giving away for that first giveaway. And as an appreciation thing, okay? So that's it for me because my brain is scrambling for what I want to say next, and I think that's it. I really do. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in the comment box. I look forward to interacting with you all again soon, and have a fantastic day. I'll talk to y'all sooner than later. Goodbye.